in Palm Beach Gardens, and I just had a question. How come whenever it's talked about like tough decisions to be made and cuts, it always seems to be about entitlement and education are the first things brought up. You know, I just don't understand that. And one thing, me personally, that I would like to see is corporate subsidies, government subsidies, done away with. For example, up in Fort Pierce, in 2005, a Walmart was built. They got $14 million in government subsidies. And what did the taxpayers get for that? They got minimum wage jobs and no health care.
I will agree with you on subsidies. When you look at Amtrak, you know, everyone's talking about having the train down here in Florida. 41 of 44 Amtrak lines are failures, and the American taxpayers have to subsidize. Now, let's go back and talk to your first question about no one has ever said they want to tackle entitlements. That has been the political, you know, juju, and everyone is afraid of it. So I got to tell you something. You know, I'm going to say it. We have to reform the entitlement system and programs here in the United States of America. I want all of you tonight, here's your homework assignment. Go back and look at the original intent of Social Security. Okay? And if you look at the original intent of Social Security and then look at all the different machinations we've taken it through up to this point, then you can see how we have basically made, you know, the American people slaves to this system. So we've got to get it back to the original intent. Now, let me talk about education. You know, go back to the late 70s when we had health, education, and welfare. And all of a sudden we created the Department of Education. At that point in time, the Department of Education had between 450 and 500 employees, $18.1 billion budget. Department of Education today, close to 5,000 employees, $80 billion budget. Well, what has happened to the standards of education in the United States of America? Okay? So this is my point. Education is a state and a local level issue.
On your way back to PBI or wherever you fly out of, if you could drive through maybe Riviera Beach, US 1 in Australia, and look at, see if you could tell me that you see entitlement there, because I can't see entitlement there. I don't call that entitlement. I call that helping out your fellow man, and I just don't see that as an entitlement program.
But let me tell you this, okay? Because I grew up in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia. And when I go back to my neighborhood, I see enslavement. I don't see empowerment. When I look at Riviera Beach, and you take that bridge and you go over to Singer Island, I see the difference between victors and victims. Let me just finish. See, I grew up in an inner city where my parents believed in the American dream. My parents believed in education. My parents believed in individual responsibility and accountability. My parents believed in faith, family, and God. And what I see right now is that over time, even Daniel Patrick Moynihan, remember the New York Senator, when he said, if you break down the family and the black community, guess what's going to happen? Exactly what you see right now.
Sure, but my problem is I don't see the corporate investment in the inner city that maybe should be done, and who else is going to do it? The government? The government has to be there to do it.
Go talk to Wayne Huizinga Jr., who is trying to expand Rybovich, the yacht building business there, and the people in Riviera Beach are pulling them down.
How is that helping the poor people? It's helping rich people get yachts.
It brings jobs to the people that are living there.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice.